Okay, so there's a little bit of a delay, but the race just started. Um, so this is actually, in spite of thiefbug's name, this is actually round 2 of the Majora's Mask 90% tournament. Started
Yeah.
last week, but this is just his first race because he had a high seed. So the expected winner here is probably thiefbug because he has been practicing and also he has a lower PB than Boo, but Boo is kind of like a unseen god at this game. So
Boo is a
we
complete
kind of
wild card.
yeah, we kind of have no idea with like what might happen with Boo. I'm
Boo
also
is like
not
Boo is like the best player in this game that no one knows about.
so I'm really unsure about exactly what routes these guys are going to be doing. They're both playing on Japanese, which is a little bit interesting. We could see. I'm trying to see from their splits, but it's like kind of impossible to tell thiefbug's route from his splits. But we could see like Moon's Tier route. We could see like Fire Arrow, Light Arrow Dupe. We'll have to
that's the
see.
fun of this. The fun of this is gonna be figuring out on the fly what route they're doing. Although I feel pretty confident based on Boo's splits and knowing Boo that he's probably doing the basically the fastest Japanese route, like the last one that people ran on before we switched to English, which is like you dupe over the bow and then but like keep it equipped for Gyro cutscene skip. You do a Great Base second, then cycle 3 Snowhead, cycle 4 Stone Tower. Which he's like never done a run on, I'm sure. But I don't think there's anything in that route that's like, too difficult for him, even with minimal practice. So I mean, he could get it. He could definitely get a decent time on it.
Yeah. I think the fun part about this too is these are both runners who like haven't played this game in a while. Like they've both been away for a while, so it'll be really cool to see how they perform after such long breaks.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. I'm not sure how much thiefbug. I feel like I've seen him streaming occasionally, like recently, and I know Boo has been grinding glitchless somewhat recently, but definitely not any percent. So yeah,
That'll be the fun part.
I think Boo's gonna go. Boo's gonna be ahead at logs with a log skip. I think we're gonna see a log skip here.
I think
I'm pretty
I think it would
sure
be really good to see a failed log skip
a
from
failed log skip. Nice.
just throw it like in favor of one person right away. A little bit faster quick turn from Boo. And he got the log skip, so
He got the log skip, easy win.
so you can see that easy time save coming in. Also, I would say that Boo's movement overall in that area was a little bit better. Had some kind of mashed rolls from thiefbug. Lost a little bit of time at the end there, but overall, like about a second in Boo's
Yeah,
favor.
really the only thing on Boo's end that could have been a little better is like you can squeeze in 2 rolls after the backwalk through the little tunnel, and he only did 1, but that like only doing 1 helps it, or I guess can help you line up the log skip jump a lot easier, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to like estimate in my head what like what times we should be expecting, what final times we should be expecting here, and I just have no idea. Like it could be literally anything.
Yeah, this race I really wanted to have restreamed in particular because I feel like this is like a super wild card race. Like
Yeah, I
it,
agree.
like anything really could happen. And I, personally, I really want everything to happen.
I mean, we're looking at blank splits on thiefbug's stream, and on Boo's stream he has like a 210 around that he's running against, which I
Yeah,
can't imagine is from the last 3 years, at least.
I actually believe that those splits he's running against are from one practice run he did to learn the route.
Nice.
So pretty good.
Um, well, yeah, there you go. We're expecting a 210 or better from Boo.
Hopefully.
I mean, I know, like, even if you're pretty well practiced, like, have all the basic tricks down in the game and all that, like doing a new route, it takes a good bit of grinding on a single route to like start getting down to decent times. Like, I don't know, I feel like I always underestimate when I switch to a new route how long it's gonna take me to catch up, I guess, and get used to it. I think like even though I felt pretty well practiced, I did like a random race on the second fastest any percent route and got like a 150 something. Like didn't think that was a very good time for me, but like just wasn't used to the route at all, and it really threw me off in various places. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like you really need the time put into like actually playing the route. So another small difference here is you'll see that Boo went for the lower flower there, which saves a tiny bit of time over the flower that thiefbug went to. So Boo's actually just had really crisp movement overall. So that's where like all this time that he's made up on thiefbug has come from. And then another small time save that Boo did was the tech skip there that thiefbug didn't go for. It saves like another second or so.
yep, and all of these. Well, I was gonna say all of these are optimizations from glitchless that Boo knows, but is the tech skip allowed in glitchless?
It is actually, yeah.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
this is the glitchless movement coming in.
all right,
Pretty
let's see.
early pause from Boo.
They're both doing backwalk strat, which is nice.
Yeah. Boo's lineup is actually looking a little bit scary. So if he goes for the earliest release here, which he noticed it, so
He's doing extra pauses. Okay, so
yeah.
thiefbug
So
has taken the lead with a better HMS.
yeah, Boo had a really early pause there, and he just did a lot of extra buffers for safety because his lineup was pretty bad.
I'm impressed though. On both sides, we didn't see many like failed buffers. I feel like typically you expect more failed buffers when people are out of practice with that. So that was
Yeah,
cool. And even like people who are in practice or like who are practiced at HMS, typically in races, will do a bunch of extra buffers because they're scared.
yeah, that
Both
too.
both got HMS with very few failed buffers. So yeah, pretty tight race so far.
A little bit of trouble on the
So
flower.
entering that flower is legitimately impossible.
Right. So also seeing a lot of like different like just minor movement between the two runners here.
Yeah, these are the type of movement things that you can save a quarter of a second here and half a second there if you learn something slightly different. And I know like among top any percent runners, there's a lot of variation in who goes for different little optimizations. Like here, right here, you see Boo doing the side hops out of the end instead of the backwalk and backflip, and that saves a good half a second.
Yeah. A lot of the movement, I would say, has been in favor of Boo. Like he's just had crisper movement overall. So he's actually aside from like being unable to enter the flower, he's actually made up a lot of the time that he lost to HMS through
Yeah,
just
definitely.
movement.
And even there, like, just talk to the scarecrow a little sooner. Press the A button a little bit sooner.
Yeah. And that's something that you can notice, like whenever you're interacting with NPCs in the game or trying to like talk to things or whatever, like you want to do it as soon as possible. So like keep an eye out for how close people get to the things that they're talking to, because like the further away you can do it from, usually the more optimal it's going to be.
Look at this route divergence. What the heck?
Just, I mean, this doesn't really matter much.
No.
But it's kind of interesting that they both went to different paths.
I'm not actually sure if there's a time difference between those or if it's just personal preference or what.
I think there's a little bit of a time difference. I believe going lower is a little bit faster, so it does save a little in-game time if you get unlucky with the rupee collecting here. Like that little bit of in-game time will help you.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's important to clarify that any time lost here doesn't really matter as long as you get to the clock tower on time and get all the rupees you need.
Yeah, because this is just like a cycle that you're waiting for the clock tower cutscene. So as long as you're there at the clock tower when the cutscene happens at midnight, then no matter what you do beforehand, doesn't lose any time.
All right, so we can confirm at this point that neither runner is going to be doing the owl hess later. The snowhead hess from the owl.
Yeah, although
Yeah.
that isn't really a thing on Japanese
Oh
anyway.
yeah. We confirmed that when we saw that both were running on Japanese. That's right.
Yeah. So that's actually one of the route differences that came about recently is that doing the owl hess in a way that I would consider RTA viable is only possible on the English version of the game due
Yeah.
to some mechanical differences.
Yeah, basically on Japanese, every time the wind blows you against the edge, you'll get stuck and have to restart the Hess, which if you don't know, as a non-TAS player, you don't know when the wind is going to blow, and that makes it basically impossible to complete the trick.
That was some sick movement from thiefbug though. Lots of side hopping.
I missed it.
But yeah, I mean both these runners are on pace to make it to the clock tower, so not really much can go wrong here. The only time loss or gain that can happen in these segments is really just from text. So as long as they mash text properly, it's pretty much going to be the same pace as like when they made it night.
Yeah. Now, I don't think for whatever routes they're doing, I would be surprised if the amount of rupees matters. I mean, for most routes, I feel like 60 plus is fine.
Yeah. Usually the only difference is that like Thiefbug has 80 rupees and Boo only has 70, so it's gonna be like one extra cursor movement for Boo, so he'll lose a little bit of time there.
Yeah, I think it's like 2 frames per cursor movement, and then it's like 1 extra on the deposit and 1 extra on the withdraw, so like 4 frames.
Yeah.
If he mashes the cursor or moves the cursor optimally. That was not on
Which that was not.
But yeah, that should be the only time loss caused by the lower amount of rupees.
Yeah.
Ideally, they
So
would have gotten 90, but it doesn't matter.
it all, like I said earlier, it doesn't really matter that Boo is getting here earlier than Thiefbug because of the in-game time.
Yeah,
Thiefbug's
thiefbug made
cutscene
it
is
nice
gonna
and
start faster, so Thiefbug's still ahead.
We've seen some. I'm just so interested to see what the routes are, and we've seen some very interesting routes in the tournament so far. Like routes that I have never seen before in my life.
Yeah,
People
like
run.
a lot of routes have been really like freestyle, or like people have just been like making their own routes. I guess like one of the coolest things that happened since a quick swap was found a little over a year ago, I think, was that like so many routing options opened up for MM that like people just started taking their own ideas and running with them. And I mean, you get like all kinds of different qualities of routes, but they're all really fun to watch.
Yeah, I think like, and I mean those routes are all different skill levels. You know, the routes that people run these days and are running in the tournament. But like you can see it even at the top level. Like there were no new routes for like 3 years in this game, and then once Equip Swap was found, and you know like in the next year after that, there were like 5 route changes or something.
Okay. Uh, I will point out that thiefbug actually shot that bubble pretty slow, so it's a little time safe. But we have about a 4 second difference between the runners at Ocarina.
Definitely pretty even, I
Yeah,
would say.
I would say especially for like racing standards,
Yeah.
at the beginning of the run, 4 seconds is pretty meaningless because, well,
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see what happens.
I mean, even like if the quote worst case scenario would have happened, like one person failing HMS, and that would cause like a huge difference. Like I would still say that that's meaningless for a race.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, like we said, this is like such a wild card. These these runners are both wild cards right now. I have no idea what times to expect.
all right, let's check out these resets. All right, I think Boo is the winner in the optimal reset race there.
Boo is the winner. Neither one was like atrocious though.
Yeah,
I feel like anything that uh, Boo has been trying to optimize for glitchless recently, he's winning at that individual little thing.
yeah, like the between movement and like the amount of like small optimizations that Boo knows about, like he's been gaining a lot of time in movement, but unfortunately for him, that is not the only thing that saves time, and getting a
Yeah,
bad
all like
HMS will put you behind.
all of those little things. He's done like probably 20 little things slightly better or slightly more optimally, and that stuff is important, but it doesn't add up to like how much he lost just from HMS and spinning at the flower.
Yeah, that too.
But it'll be interesting to see if he goes for some um, tricky little optimizations once things start getting more risky with, you know, bombs and chews potentially getting wasted if he messes things up.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things to see will be like the strats that they actually go for. There's lots of race friendly strats that you can do that I mean they lose like anywhere between like maybe a second to like a lot of time. So we'll see like where the runners decide that they can't afford that time loss, or where they will try to go for like better strats.
Yeah. I don't really have any ideas or any preconceived notions in my mind about like what standard strats are for these two runners. I've seen thiefbug run any percent, but it's been a while, and I don't think I've ever seen Boo run any percent. So, like, I just have no idea what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, when thiefbug was active in the game, he was a top runner. So, I mean, I think he definitely has gone for the good stuff in the past, but the run has changed a lot since then. So we'll see.
Right. Well, yeah, we got a couple more minutes. Just a couple more minutes of intro stuff, and then we will be on our way. Wonder how soon the routes will diverge, if they diverge.
Well, one thing that's important to point out is that this game is really unforgiving with a lot of the tricks. So if they go for hard strats and mess them up, it'll be really, really bad for them. And I think it'll be really interesting to see how they recover from that, honestly.
Yeah, knowing good backups is super important if you're going for, like, especially if you're going for a lot of those really tricky optimizations that can lose a lot of time. I know this as someone who goes for those types of things anywhere I can.
All right, so right off the bat, Boo went for side ops there, and he did them bad. So he usually it would save time, but I would say he definitely lost time there, and also
I would say talking to the mailbox probably lost time. I think it's probably safe to say that. It looks like he just tried the no jump slash strat there where you get pushed by the guard in midair and failed it. So, like we were saying, it seems like he's going for these little things and
but it's not really paying off right now.
not paying off, but it's really once he's gonna be doing explosive stuff with explosives that things will get really risky if he fails.
Yeah, not the cleanest set of side ops from him there either. Meanwhile, thiefbug is doing a lot of the easier and safer movement, and made up a lot of time on Boo there, or gained a lot of time on him there rather. But everything can change right here. Let's see what they decide to do for Hidden Owl. There's a really safe strat that they can go for that is like pretty much guaranteed, but it loses like over 5 seconds.
This is interesting.
All right, so I SGF the banker. This is looking like a mega flip Hidden Owl.
Yep.
And kind of looked like Boo was lost for a second there. Okay, I lied about the mega flip. Alright, so thiefbug's going for the safe Hidden Owl. This is the like basically the easiest and safest thing that you can do.
Okay, and Boo has got a very questionable setup for Mega Flip Hidden Owl right now. I would not be surprised if he goes into the loading zone.
He also is just not high enough. All right,
into the loading
he went
zone.
into the loading zone. Okay, so that's kind of really bad for.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what
he's gonna try to do a staircase hover, and then
I think those bombs are too close. Yeah,
they are. This is very interesting the way that he's trying to back this up. I think it's probably smart if he can figure out how to do it, but he might run out of explosives before he figures out how to do it.
Yeah, it's not looking very good.
Meanwhile, thiefbug has purchased 20 more chews and is out of Clocktown. And on his way to, it looks like Swamp Grotto.
kind of interesting. This is definitely movement from when he ran the game. I would say like kind of outdated. Most people are hessing at this point. So thiefbug's actually doing another risky trick, I guess you could say. Like the run could easily lose a lot of time here if he messes this up.
Yep.
Because it costs so many chews to fix it.
He's doing a kind of safe thing here with this bomb so that he doesn't fail that chew hover, get the chew stuck to the wall. But he's also buffering the mega flip, which is a safe strat. It looks like Boo is not going to make it over.
Yeah, I think Boo does not have enough explosives.
So hopefully he'll just play Song of Time and... Well, it looks like he's going to try to... I don't know. I guess since he already withdrew rupees, he would have to deposit them and then play Song of Time for it to really be...
Looks like he's gonna try to buy a choose here.
Thiefbug is just well on his way.
I think he wanted to buy choose and bombs, but he didn't.
I don't think that's
rupees.
possible.
Okay, so now he's Song of Timing.
He's Song of Timing now. See, now he doesn't have any rupees in the bank. So, I'm not sure how he's going to manage. Maybe he knows bank clip and is going to try to do that. That might be what I would do in this scenario. You definitely don't want to just reset without playing a Song of Time because you would have to watch all the Deku Mask and Song of Healing cutscene again.
Yeah. Meanwhile, thiefbug is on Sonata, which is a really nice like kind of checkpoint in the run where there's nothing hard for a while.
Yeah, this seems like really a pretty nice pace to be at Sonata, you know, at like a low 27 in a race.
Yeah, especially with the old Japanese strats and route, this is pretty good, I would say.
Yeah. So I mean, I would definitely say he's like on PB pace. Then again, Boo probably is on PB pace as well. This backwalk movement from Boo is interesting because I don't think that saves any time. In fact, I think it loses a little bit.
I believe it does lose time.
Maybe he has.
It is easier to do. Like it saves time usually because the rolls are really hard to do well there.
True.
All right, so he's not going for bank clip.
When he did a staircase there to try to back it up, the nature of the staircase hover is you kind of have to be in between the bombs, and he put one against the wall, so he was just way too far from where he needed to go. So this time, because he could backwalk and do a single bomb hover, he was in the right spot and had a very clean.
Yeah. So now we're gonna see what he decides to do with these like with his chew count, because he definitely doesn't have enough chews to do everything optimally. He's going to use most of his chews up in Swamp Gossips now if he decides to go there, but he could also do Swamp Route here and just keep his chews.
This is going to be very interesting. Yeah,
I think if I were him, I would probably just do Swamp Route,
but maybe he's been watching my stream and thinks he can do it with 10 chews. Swamp Gossips, and because I mean this is the same as the optimal route if he goes to Swamp Gossips right now, and that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
The optimal route has 8 chews at this point. He has 10, so he could do it, but it's gonna be hard.
All right, that's not very good for his route.
Maybe now he'll go to Swamp Route.
Alright, yeah, that's what he's doing.
He's going to Swamp Route.
Alright, so we got thiefbug doing his first test here. Did not crash it.
Yeah, that would be a very, very bad time loss. I guess that's an important thing to mention. If at any point someone crashes at any point during cycle 2, that's, you got to go all the way back to the beginning of the cycle and watch the, well, in thiefbug's case, watch the cutscenes again and all that. So that's one major reason why anything can happen.
Yeah,
In the
Boo
Majora's Mask.
actually, he did a pretty smart strat there. You can skip the cutscene before Swamp with time stop, and he went for bomb time stop, which is kind of a newer strat, where you can get time stop anywhere as long as you have a cutscene item and a bomb. Instead of getting time stop off of the Gossip Stone, which I mean that is a little bit faster, so that's pretty good.
A cutscene item meaning like Ocarina or a mask.
Yeah.
I think like anything that stops time, basically.
Anything that like pulls you out of the main gameplay in order
Yeah.
to use it.
Some little mistakes from thiefbug, like failing that super slide there because of the slipping on the ice, but he's still just very far ahead. We're seeing a lot of sloppy stuff from Boo as well. So
yeah, basically, thiefbug now he can just play as safe as he wants because he has such a dramatic lead over
exactly,
Boo.
yeah.
All he has to do is just not make any big mistakes.
I wonder how much this roll timing is losing thiefbug.
Yeah, his rolls are pretty off timing. So he loses probably 2 or 3 frames per roll, the way he's doing it right now.
I think the way to think about optimal rolls is basically like you want to do the full roll, and then once Link starts walking again, that's when you want to time your next roll.
Yeah.
That's about right. Yeah. So yeah, since
Right.
Boo is doing the swamp route, I guess you could say the normal way through or the casual way through. He's gotten the bottle first, and now he has to make his way to Deku Palace and get Sonata.
I was curious about whether we were going to see the Zora walking cutscene skip from thiefbug, but it doesn't save that much time on Japanese because of the way you have to do it. If I remember correctly, it's like 5 seconds or so. So it's not like a huge deal that I didn't go for it, but it would have been cool to see. I think we'll see if Boo goes for it.
Yeah, I think it was much more worth it when we had to do like ESS dupes, anyways.
Yeah, that too. Although with bomb time stop.
Oh yeah, true.
So this is kind of a throwback strat, the old big octo skip.
Yeah, we got a clean big octo skip from Boo.
Just the laggiest, slowest strat on the planet. Oh
Ooh,
no.
a little bit too far to the right.
Boo's actually gonna have to come all the way back from the witch hut now.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to redo all that movement and redo the octo skip and everything. Just kind of unfortunate mistakes coming from him.
Yeah. Like we were saying, at this point in the run onward, things are much more risky in terms of like he can go for these little optimizations like not targeting and lining up his angle for that jump, but it's going to be much bigger time losses if he fails them, compared to the stuff that he was going for in like first cycle and getting. So yeah, questionable how much of this that he's going for is worth it. But at the same time, maybe he feels like he has to go for that stuff since he's so far behind already.
Yeah, that might be one way to think about it, because like he really is going to need every single second he can get here, and he really needs for thiefbug to make a pretty major mistake in order to like even the field.
Yeah.
And I mean, it definitely could happen. Like we have some hard stuff coming up for thiefbug. I believe he will be going to Woodfall soon. I'm not actually sure what his route is, but I would assume he's going to go to Woodfall now.
This
Or Pirates. Okay,
looks
so he's
like
getting
he's
Hookshot
going to
Island,
Pirate's
right?
Fortress. I like that little optimization. Drinking the potion there is Deku. Drinking as Deku is faster than any other form. I believe. I'm not sure about Goron, but
Yeah.
faster than any other form that you have here for sure.
Or okay, he's going to PF or
This is interesting.
PR. Okay, this is definitely an interesting route.
So yeah, it looks like he's going to
Well,
do.
maybe he doesn't dupe right away.
Um, yeah, I think this is what I did when I ran the route that is basically the fastest Japanese route. I think because you don't do the Zora Swamp Hess, you just catch this right away. It's faster to just not waste a Soar. Right after you get Zora Mask, go to Pinnacle Rock and get the egg, and then after Woodfall, you do the dupes.
All right, so Boo's having a little bit of trouble. There's a platform cycle in the Deku Palace, so if he messes up the strat before he can get on the platform, then the platforms are not going to be in a good position for
That
him
was
to
a little bit
continue.
slow, but he still made the cycle here, so he just barely made it. So after getting Sonata, Boo will almost definitely soar to Mountain Village, which Thiefbug has already done. He'll go and get the map point, the Goron Village map point, to use to soar to Stone Tower later, and then he'll go get Zora Mask. I think that's no matter what route he's doing, that's what the order will be.
Yeah, it
But
actually looks like Boo is over 10 minutes behind at this point.
yeah, well, not quite, because the bottle. Well, yeah, somewhere somewhere around 10 minutes behind, 9 or 10.
All right, so entering Woodfall. This Woodfall has a lot of hard stuff in it. It's pretty easy for mistakes to happen.
Yep.
And one of the biggest mistakes that can actually happen in the run, which is failing Woodfall DK skip, is a real thing. So we'll see. Thief could just make it really safe, which it would probably be in his best interest to just play it as safe as possible and just make sure that he doesn't mess anything up. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I know Thiefbug in Swamp Grotto was buffering Mega Flips, and here he is again buffering Mega Flips. So that's one way to make it safe. But depending on exactly what strat he uses and how many explosives he's willing to dedicate to it, it could be more or less safe because of that as well. Okay, Bood going for another little optimization here. And almost getting it. Got the angle and everything, but rolled a little bit early, I believe.
Yeah, a little bit rough on the super slide timing. So he is going for like every little strat he can go for, but
Yeah, I mean that's a strat that, throwing the bomb and then slashing the snowball and then going for the super slide off the bomb that you threw, it's a kind of awkward strat, and in my opinion requires a lot of practice and only saves like maybe 3/4 of a second, something like that. So yeah, going for that in a race when you don't run this category is very interesting.
So we got Woodfall BK skip coming up for thiefbug. So he is going for a little bit of. He has a lot of choose, so he can go for a pretty safe strat here to get onto the pillar.
Nice pillar clip.
Pretty safe ledge clip. Alright, looks like he wants to use the rest of his choose here. So this is just about the safest he can make this trick, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't know this exact setup, but it looks like it's going to be fine.
Oh!
Ooh.
Yeah, that Mega was not looking
Okay, at
good.
this point, I would say anything can happen because he may not know exactly where he is. It looks like he's trying to figure out exactly what position he's in right now relative to
Yeah.
where he's trying to go.
And this looks like it might not
I think
work.
that was another early
I think
roll.
that was another early roll, yeah.
He just rolled
Yeah,
early twice and failed the BK skip, so
okay,
that's a...
so this doesn't put Boo in the lead yet, but this is a pretty drastic time loss for thiefbug. So let's see how he decides to back this up. I think the best thing he can do here is just get the boss key.
Yep.
But let's see what he does.
He's figuring it out. Oh, please hit the switch before going down.
Oh no.
He jumped down and didn't hit the...
If he's planning to get the boss key, it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because he can just make the platform rise up.
Oh, right, that's true.
Yeah. Also, it looks like Boo didn't go for the Zora walking cutscene skip either, which I think is a little interesting considering the strats that he has been going for.
Yeah, maybe he didn't really just didn't really put any effort into thinking about whether it would be optimal or not, or yeah, I don't know. Well, he filled up on bombs. This bomb drop, a pretty convenient way to do that.
Okay, so now thiefbug is the glitchless runner getting this boss key.
So yeah, I would say at this point, I mean, we're definitely back at the...
Oh, he's not going for the boss key.
This is very interesting.
This is interesting. I'm not sure if he's gonna try to do the boss key skip with just 20 bombs.
That's what it looks like. So I mean, he's probably gonna hope to target off of a dragonfly here to turn around and grab the ledge as Zora, and then
he's
you're looking
killing the dragonflies.
That's very strange.
Okay, he probably. I think you can do this with 20 bombs, but he has to hover all the way up to the pillar.
Yeah, so it's 6 good hovers, and then you can backflip onto the pillar, and then
he needs, I think, 9.
I was gonna say like 10 was my guess. I don't really know. So yeah, he's gonna need like all his bombs here, but he can make it work. I'm not sure if this is faster than just getting the boss key. You know, if he had the hook shot,
it would definitely be slower if he had the hook shot, but since he doesn't.
Yeah, if you had the hook shot, getting the boss key would be better. Oh, this is interesting. He has to do a blind hover here.
Yeah, it looks like he got scared and gave up on that hover. All right, so he does have enough bombs to do this. So it's all going to be about his positioning, really. He's really high. That's one thing to point out. So that's going to change whether, like, where he needs to mega flip from and like how hard he has to curve his mega flip and everything.
Also, he could very easily backflip too early and...
Ooh, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very easy to do that when you're trying to get long hovers off of a bomb. You can't get much more than like a flat distance hover.
Yeah, and usually the hover is done here when you hover instead of doing like mega flips for the skip. You want like really long hovers that you can drop during, because you're really trying to get as close to the loading zone as possible. There's a
Yeah, so
little
that's
bit safer of a strat that he can do that requires a C up, but he may not know about it.
I'm not sure I even know what you're talking. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Just angling yourself a little bit towards the.
Yeah, if you're angled directly towards the boss door, then your height isn't as important.
So now you see Boo. I guess ahead. I mean, it's hard to say because
Well,
he still has to get the bow, but he has more explosives.
Thiefbug has the Pinnacle Rock Egg as well,
Oh,
which Boo
that's.
doesn't have.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Boo is probably going to do the Swamp Pest. Wait, no, that's not.
No, he already has the bottle
He probably just didn't think
to get the egg
yeah,
then.
when Thief Bug did, yeah. So yeah, Thief Bug still has a little bit of a lead, even though Boo is probably going to be attempting the BK skip a little bit sooner than Thief Bug is, or maybe Thief Bug will be going for the boss key this time. Let's see.
It's really hard to say.
It's interesting that he is not using the switch to bring the ladders out, since
I
he's.
I think it's interesting that Boo's okay. It looks like he hit the switch, so he's planning on farming some explosives. It looks like I forgot that he was really low on bomb chews
I don't
from
know exactly
earlier.
how many bomb chews he has. I mean, the absolute minimum I would say for well, I guess the absolute minimum is 0, but one chew will make a big difference. 2 chews will make a big difference as well.
Yeah, even with only 2 chews, like you can make the trick super fast, and he has 7,
He,
so
he does have 7 chews, yeah.
this is pretty safe for him, I think. So he'll use 3 here probably,
Yep.
or be a little bit safer with them.
Yeah. Saving some, or saving 1, hovering with a bomb there. Turning Zora for the first time here.
Right, a little bit different of a ledge clip strat. It, it doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah. If you're coming from that direction, the roll I think is technically better, but kind of hard to do well. Unbuffering the mega flips.
All right, I think that Boo is actually in a really bad position here. Not sure if this will work, but
He
it
did.
did.
He
It
had
did.
2 hovers at the beginning, and that's why it looked
Yeah.
a little different than the typical strat. But yeah, Boo. I
Boo
mean,
is
if
in
I was,
Adola, so as long as he doesn't die to Adola or something along those lines, which he's on JP, so it should be pretty much impossible for that to happen.
right,
Unless he goes
and
for quick spins anyway.
I would say that if Thiefbug fails this mega here, or fails the BK skip from being in the wrong position or something, yeah, he was too far back, I think. So that's another BK skip failure from Thiefbug. So I would say Boo has definitively taken the lead.
Yeah, and also Boo going for the quick spins anyway. The quick spins are a little bit faster than jump slash power crouch stabbing, but it's also a lot harder when with crouch stabbing you can just keep a rhythm.
Got some safety hearts. Or a safety heart container for Boo.
Yeah, so
I'm
I'm not sure if Thiefbug is planning to continue going for this boss key skip. I think it would really just be easiest for him to get the boss key at this point.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's such a big hit every time you fail that. The race could definitely still be his if he just goes for the boss key, but we'll see.
He only got one
farm.
bomb drop this
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
so
He
I
can't.
think he's just going for the.
Yeah, it seems like he's going for the boss key here. Yep. Okay, so that's basically like what, a 5-minute hit to get the boss key.
Yeah, and then on top of 2 or 3 boss key. attempts that he failed. So that's basically even playing ground. I think Boo has like a couple minute lead
Yeah,
on top of that
Boo.
actually.
Yeah, I would say Boo has a 2 to 3 minute lead, maybe. We'll see. So yeah, I guess what we're expecting in terms of Boo's route is that he's going to get the egg and then immediately going to like an egg from Pinnacle Rock, and then immediately going to do egg dupes and then go to Great Bay Temple.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
and
guess
that
what
is
it
the rare gecko fight that you get to see every now and then in any percent. Only during this tournament.
only during the tournament. I think most players will hit the reset button if they fail Woodfall Bosky skip in that way, falling all the way down. But yeah, I guess we didn't really mention uh, neither player is doing a hookshot route. Um,
Yeah,
they would have gone to
with the
Pirate's Way.
last tournament that we had, it was before any of equip swap or any of the great rerouting that happened recently happened. So basically everybody ran the same route. It was like either the only variation was like whether you did swamp gossips or not, basically.
Yep.
Um, so now with no hookshot, like you can still get hookshot. There are routes that do it, but it's so different for like each runner. But
Yeah.
it looks like both of these guys are running basically the same route, aside from like one or two minor differences.
Yeah, and that's basically the best Japanese route. I mean, I guess we shouldn't say that because no one's really tried super hard to make an optimal Japanese route recently, but it's
Yeah,
it's the Japanese route that was optimal before we switched to English.
it looks like thiefbug doesn't really know what to do in this room. Uh,
And that probably explains part of why he was so hesitant to just get the boss key.
yeah.
Probably wasn't comfortable doing this.
So for safety, killing the dragonflies. The dragonflies in this room will, as you can see, ruin your life.
Yeah.
And Boo, not enough time to climb the ladder or swim. I mean, so he has to just sit there and hang out.
I feel like he probably could have climbed the ladder and like set up for a jump slash super swim or something. Because this jump slash super swim, yeah, very hard to get um, a good swim off of that. But if he had gone up to the top while waiting for that day transition, that would have been an interesting little optimization because he couldn't make it anyways.
So what Thiefbug needs to do here is he needs to hit this crystal switch on the other side of the room in order to like make the flames go away and unlock that second flower. But he doesn't need to be on this side of the room. It looks like he might have a little bit of trouble getting there, but he knows the strats.
He can do it. Boo, on the other hand, having some trouble with the optimal dives here. This is just a pretty difficult optimization to your swimming movement that Imbued found recently that saves about a second and a half. And there are only a few players who go for it right now. But
Yeah, and for a pretty good reason. It's pretty hard. It takes a lot of
yeah,
practice.
yep, definitely. Very easy to just move the control stick not quite enough in one direction and just void out instantly. But Thiefbug finally in the Adalwa fight. It's good.
Right. He's going for the save for a Dalwa fight. But it looks like his positioning was a little bit bad. Luckily, with this fight, it's super scripted, so even if you mess up, you can save it pretty easily without much trouble.
So now that Boo has that egg, basically from this point to whenever Thiefbug soars to Great Bay, that's the difference in or that's how far
Yeah.
behind Thiefbug is. Which,
Yeah, so thiefbug just has it's really just cutscenes that he has to watch. He has two pretty long cutscenes, the Oath
yeah,
cutscene and then the Deku Princess cutscene.
it's going to be a couple minutes, basically what he expected, or but what we expected.
So we've got some equip swapping going on here. This this actually could be a pretty big point. Since Boo is not accustomed to running glitched categories,
Yep.
his equip swap is definitely not up to par. Although I do believe he plays a lot of randomizer where you can equip swap, but it might be a little bit rough.
Yeah, if it's not a trick that you're grinding, like, used to doing like every day, it can be pretty hard. Yeah. I guess I should explain. So a cool little thing that this route, and actually the current world record route as well, they both do. Before you do your equip swaps, you do equip swaps over the bow slot, and so that's going to put an empty bottle over your bow slot and get rid of your bow. But before you do that, you actually equip swap bow over ocarina, and that lets you keep it equipped so that you can use it to save like a minute by doing a weird shot to skip the Gyurg cutscene that's coming up. But one thing about that can potentially lose a lot of time is if they don't equip swap ocarina over bow, then it'll get rid of the bow that they have equipped. I'm assuming that thiefbug is going to be doing the same thing. But it's a mistake that you can very easily make if you're not used to running the route. Just, accidentally equip ocarina when you're supposed to equip swap it.
All right, so Boo did get his equip swaps in.
Yeah, that wasn't too much time lost from that.
Yeah, some pretty sketchy menu movement, but other than that, so now he's got to equip his ocarina, and he's doing it over the bow slot, as Sausage mentioned.
So yeah, it should just be, in terms of like equip swaps left in the run, there's like he'll have to equip ocarina one more time in a couple minutes, and then he'll have to do 2 crap later in the run. But the equip swaps are mostly over for him now. We'll see if thiefbug makes up any of that time difference with some optimal first try equip swaps.
Yeah. All right, and Boo was actually just able to do his first split in the run since Ocarina of Time. Because of all the rerouting he had to do earlier, he was unable to split accurately until just now. He also went for a little bit of a fast strat there, where you can get a Wes out of. Basically, you just start up your swim and then instantly Wes afterwards, and you get a ton of speed
Yeah,
while moving
looked
on
like
land.
he didn't manage to find ESS quickly enough, so he was just standing there.
All right, so now thiefbug is just now getting to the lab, and it's already looking like his equip swaps are a little bit better. Also, it looks like he did a little bit of a pause optimization by equipping the bottle there.
I didn't quite catch it, but it's interesting.
All right, and Boo gets TCS.
That's good.
So that's a potential 1 minute time saver that he might have over thiefbug.
If
If
you
thiefbug happens to
started
miss it.
if you started watching Majora's Mask speedruns relatively recently, you might not be familiar with this TCS, this way of doing TCS, since everyone on the English version pretty much does Song of Double Time TCS. But if you set up near the loading zone and play the song basically as far as possible from the turtle, or as close as possible to the loading zone, then you can just buffer into the loading zone after after playing it.
Oh no.
So a little bit of messed up timing there with when to turn around and grab the turtle, and now he doesn't have any bomb shoes. So
So
it's
now he's gonna have to hover all the way onto the top of the turtle, which isn't that bad because since he reloaded the area by doing TCS the way he did it, he has an infinite supply of bombs technically. But this is gonna be a lot of time that thiefbug can make up on him if he doesn't make the same mistake.
yeah, it's basically 6 bomb hovers to the point where you can backflip onto the turtle, and then it's at that point you still have to wait for the turtle to be at the lowest point in its cycle.
Yeah, and these
So
bomb hovers that Boo is doing are not very good.
they are not.
So it might be a little bit rough. All
But
right,
he has plenty.
thiefbug is getting. Yeah, so you can see that the turtle, like the camera panned down right there, and Boo was able to just backflip off. He just threw his bomb away because the turtle lowered for him. All right, so entering Great Bay Temple now, thiefbug is just now getting New Wave Bossa Nova. So I would say that the difference isn't that big, and thiefbug can definitely catch back up to him pretty easily.
Yep, if thiefbug does
Especially
this
if
next segment well, you know, that could make up a good minute or even a little more maybe.
yeah. But it's really going to depend on him getting TCS and then not messing up the turtle hover.
Yep. We'll see if thiefbug goes for that ESS trick right here. What is he doing here?
He's playing Song of Double Time. Not
I'm
really
trying to-
sure. Maybe he's worried that it'll turn day while he's swimming, and he won't be able to make it to land.
I see. I didn't get a chance to see where the clock was exactly.
It looked like it was almost day, just based on
Okay.
like the sky. So I think that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah. Not sure if it's faster to play Song of Double Time or just wait, but I guess it would depend how much he would have had to wait. Maybe that was a good play.
All right, so that was a little bit of a misplay by Boo right there. He needs to ocarina dive here, but if he steps forward just a little bit too much, then he does a jump slash and just falls off the ledge instead.
Yeah. Did he just shield that bomb
Yeah.
explosion? Oh, we got a failed TCS from thiefbug.
All right, so that is a little bit rough for thiefbug. So that kind of nullifies the turtle hovering that Boo did earlier.
Yeah, all those shenanigans that Boo was just doing basically evened out now. So I would say Boo is still a couple minutes ahead.
Although, one thing to note is now because of missing TCS, the turtle's position is going to be kind of weird for thiefbug when he needs to do this hover. So, if he doesn't know how to back it up, it
That's
may
true.
be a little bit difficult for him.
Yeah, if he's not used to it, that could be weird. Also, I noticed that Boo went for a kind of easier, basically the easy option for the boss key skip setup, which is interesting because he's been going for so many hard things, but maybe he realizes that he's ahead now and is trying to just keep his lead rather than do risky stuff to catch up.
Yeah, or
he just doesn't know a faster one.
He is going for the... That was kind of interesting. So, he's going for the fast gyro here, where you stun him with your fins. But when his fins came back to him, it hit your...
Yeah.
So it ruined his stun lock.
That's something that can happen on Japanese because of the way that you want to kind of side hop into the water to swim against him. That's one big English versus Japanese difference here. You can't just like rise and fall with your shields in the water. on
Yeah.
Japanese the way you can in English.
So it's actually one of English's time saves. Oh, so because of that damage that he did earlier, normally Georg would die right there on that second hit, but since the damage was off, because the fin does less damage, he had one extra hit, and I don't think he was prepared for that.
I certainly wasn't thinking about that. I would not have been expecting that if I were in his shoes, but he somehow managed to save it.
All right, and that is the end of that cycle for him. So this is another checkpoint. So if anything goes wrong for Boo, he at least starts here instead of at the beginning of cycle 2.
It's interesting that he's 5 minutes behind his practice splits. I'm trying to figure out where all this time came from in his 210. It
Well,
looks like
there's a lot of stuff left in the runs.
right, but you know you definitely expect. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like he has a lot of time lost on light arrow, maybe.
All right. Boo's also notoriously bad at gainers, but fifth try is not that bad.
You got it. It's fine. It's only one more gainer after this. Assuming he's doing the route that I think he's doing.
So this split is another one of those really risky splits where, especially on this route, it can go really bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty RNG dependent. He needs to get good RNG and also react really well to the wind. And if he doesn't, then he will lose a lot of time.
Yep. This is probably the biggest place that we've seen where like anything happens in these races, in this tournament so far.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of snowballs. Also, Boo failing 2-for-1. If you're not familiar with what 2-for-1 is, you can buy 2 sets of bomb shoes with only 67 minimum rupees, but you need to mash quickly, or you need to time it properly, basically. Most people just mash it because it's not that precise, but if you miss it, then you have to go farm rupees. It's pretty bad.
Looks like he got some extra bombs here, so that'll help.
Yeah, that's a little bit safer. So
He can
honestly,
fail.
for this race, I would say that's not really even a loss.
Thiefbug really catching up here. It seems like he had a faster Great Bay Temple as a whole, and now at Georg, and you know here's Boo losing some more time to 2-for-1. So pretty close race, really.
Yeah, it can go any way still, like really easily, just by one mistake. All right, thiefbug having a little bit of trouble with Georg.
Not too big of a deal. Just had to cycle back around one time. So yeah, Boo is going to do the fairy fountain alternate exit. Basically go into the Woodfall fairy fountain and hover out of bounds and end up in the in the invisible, or I don't know what you call it, Snowhead fairy fountain, and exit out into Snowhead. So this is another place that you could theoretically lose a bunch of explosives and fall down and have to try again.
Yeah, this is a pretty pretty safe trick. Usually, it's pretty straightforward and simple. But if you do happen to mess it up, it does lose like a lot of explosives, a lot of time, and you have to start backing it up in a scary way. But
Okay, he got it.
yeah, easy trick.
So yeah, if we see a good lullaby skip here from Boo, that'll be really good for him.
It'll be a really big piece in him winning or like keeping his lead.
Definitely. Those arrows, possibly something that he actually never mind. Those arrows don't matter.
Yeah. Well, he got the Deku stick, I think.
So what he's trying to do is right when the wind starts blowing, pull a bomb, and then backflip and super slide.
Exactly
Okay, and
like
he
that. So
got
that's
good
really
wind.
good win. So now it's all up to him to climb his way up the ramp.
And that was good as well.
Not get hit by any snowballs.
And he did destroy the very top snowball when it
Yeah, so
fell down.
this next snowball is the only one that can hit him.
But even after that, you can always just jump off. People do that all the time.
Alright, looks like he is successfully past the snowballs. So
So he's probably safe.
yeah, he's finishing the low skip up. We got thiefbug soaring to Woodfall now to try it himself.
Going
Alright,
for
so he's not even gonna jump. He's just going for the
going for the risky strat, wind dependent.
he is not letting up.
No, he's not doing side hops. No way.
I think that this only gets harder for him the more he tries. Alright, going for the side hops.
Okay,
Alright,
easy.
he's in. Okay, so we got thiefbug now heading to the Woodfall Fairy Fountain.
Nice, pretty quick block clip there. Looks like
Nice
he's not going for a bomb drop because
block.
he's pretty confident with his 15 bombs and saving a bomb here by doing a slightly slower strat, the Zora jump. Maybe he's more comfortable with that. I don't know.
It maybe a glitchless 100% strat or something.
Mm. That would make sense.
Alright, so we've got this is a strat where things could go wrong.
Definitely. And thiefbug here at lull by skip as well. Pretty nice angle, it looks like, for Boo.
Yeah. All right, he is up. That was a little bit scary, but
yeah, that was really sketchy, but he got it.
All right, so let's see how thiefbug's win goes. Boo got second try, which is really solid. Alright, so thiefbug doing some buffers, a little bit safer than Boo.
Basically make sure that you do the backflip and all that on the right frame.
And he got good wins, so
that's good.
And he actually got much better win than Boo. He could have gone up straight away there if he had reacted fast enough. Looks like Boo lost his ISG.
Ooh. But yeah, when the wind blows you kind of into that section there up against the wall, you can just hover immediately right before that wind ends, and it's really, really fast. But he just played it safe, waited an extra cycle, and now should be getting in.
Alright, so Boo failed the Wizrobe cutscene skip. That is like a 10-second time loss, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, loses a bit, but it seems like he did the fight okay in the end. Or did the second phase alright.
Alright, thiefbug is in Snowhead. I would say he had probably a faster lullaby skip than Boo.
Yep.
Looked like Boo was struggling a little bit.
So now we're gonna see song storage. This looks like a bad angle, but maybe I'm wrong about that. Okay, it's fixed. Not familiar with the strat of stopping the hover there, but it looks like it worked fine. Yeah.
Take note of the pause ocarina dive strat.
Yeah, if you're struggling with an ocarina dive, you can always just do it out of a pause. If you hold a direction before the pause, and then unpause and keep holding the same direction and just mash ocarina, it becomes much less precise.
So a little bit safer of a strat coming from thiefbug.
Yep.
Usually it would be slower, but Boo actually probably did the chest hover so slow that thiefbug probably saved time.
It
Or
looks like
the
Boo's going for a kind of fast strat here, kind of difficult strat. Trying to blow up the snowball with his chew, and he gets it.
it's
That's
pretty good.
yeah, I think that's if you have a good position, I think it's only 2 frames to stop that mega flip.
Yeah. Although it does look like he probably is gonna jump down and get bombs here. Oh, he's
Um,
going for it with what he has.
he can go across with this. Now he can't.
Well, so touching that slope just instantly removes your ISG.
Yep, it looked like maybe he was trying to do the strat to get across with 2 bombs. I was expecting him to go for the ISG mega flip and then 2 chew hovers, which would have been the fastest thing he could have done it, I think.
Alright, so thiefbug's at fire arrows. So all of a sudden this race is much closer than it was.
Oh yeah.
Alright, probably a mega flip here. Okay.
He hasn't failed any mega flips, I don't think. Gone for every mega flip unbuffered.
Ooh.
Going for that corner there. Looks like his angle was a little bit off. That's a strat that can be completely dependent on your controller. Oh, wow. Moved a little
that
bit
is
too
one
far
I
to the left.
haven't seen in a.
Is he going to be in an unloaded room or is he void?
No, he's voiding.
Okay.
So it's okay. You can ground clip in a lot of areas of the dungeon here. So that honestly that was kind of just unlucky if you ask me.
Okay, so he's going to try to get across with 2 bombs. If he gets a really precise hover here, he can make it work. That, I think, will not work. Well, now it definitely won't work.
Alright, so now thiefbug is probably within like a minute.
Oh yeah, he's about to catch up. He's like 30 seconds behind or something, maybe even less.
And Boo's struggling to get down here without dying.
Hopefully Boo will not die. Trying to find the grass. Thiefbug with his safety strats, slowly but surely catching up.
Alright, and he's actually now ahead.
Yep.
It's like almost synced up at this point.
Yep. Kind of crazy. It looks like he's trying to do the 2-bomb again, but I don't think that's gonna work. It looks like he's using his shoe here. That's good. Oh, he got a slow mega.
Yeah.
So that just barely doesn't make it.
So thiefbug now is definitely in the lead if he doesn't fail this. Which he did. He's only got 1 bomb.
Okay, well, if he gets it this time, definitely in the lead. He had 1 extra.
Okay. He's in goat now. So
this is a really good race. Really exciting, all over the place. Seems like Boo's unfamiliar, or a little unfamiliar with Snowhead Bosky skip strats, or out of practice with them. So that has really cost him a lot of time, but now he's in there.
Alright, so thiefbug looks like he's just gonna try to time the last arrow on goat. Yeah.
Many times it will.
So that's his Snowhead. As long as he doesn't fail the cutscene skip here.
Yeah.
Press A incorrectly or something.
Resetting too early would be very bad here. But that's unlikely. Nice lineup from Boo.
Alright, no early reset, so thiefbug is now moving on to his final dungeon.
So now Boo is gonna have to time the last shot. Was that his last shot? Oh no.
No.
Okay, that's
Both
fine.
of them timed it pretty well.
Yeah, so what would you say, about 30, 40 seconds apart?
Probably close to like 45 or 50 seconds here.
Definitely,
We can actually
definitely
just
up
look
there.
at thiefbug's split and compare it.
Oh yeah.
It's about 40 seconds.
So yeah, now they'll both be refilling bombs and chews, and going to the last temple.
And Stone Tower Temple is definitely the hardest dungeon in this run, I would say. So there's just a lot of finicky tricks in the dungeon that are really easy to fail, and when you do fail them, they lose a ton of time.
Failing, well, if someone runs out of chews on Stone Tower boss key skip, you know, and they don't have the hook shot, that can be really bad. I mean, that will probably decide the race if someone runs out of chews. Boo again struggling with the gainer.
Got it though.
Gainers and equip swaps were a big thing in thiefbug's favor throughout this race.
Yeah.
I guess there's one more equip swap right now that
Also,
I was about to do.
it's pretty important to note that so the fairy.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's pretty bad for thiefbug. So now they are like probably only 20 seconds apart.
I would say even less. Did he get? Okay, he did get
So
two.
the fairy flew into the wall for thiefbug, and he was unable to grab it with the bottle, and then it just flew into him. So he had to reset the area.
So now thiefbug is down a bomb, and he is, you know, he basically finished his soar there at the same time that Boo started his soar to Stone Tower. So this is very close now. That said, 15 bombs should not be needed, but anything can happen. Nice, second try equip swap. Okay, and we're gonna see a fairy time stop, bottle time stop. Nice from thiefbug. So he is going into Stone Tower Temple.
Ooh, I'm not exactly sure. So that basically is just as bad as what happened to thiefbug because he now has to resoar.
Yeah.
Not really sure how he failed that. I think he pressed the bottle and the bomb chew too close together.
Probably.
Let's see if thiefbug is going for the A slide clip here. Let's see if he does a super swim out of it. If he can super swim all the way to the key, it's really fast, and he is going for it.
Pretty nice. Oh,
Not
ended
all
it
the
a
way
little
there,
slow,
but
still
not bad.
all right.
Still better than not doing it, I would say.
Yeah. Okay, so Boo had to release that fairy, and now he's trying this again.
All
Taking
right,
some time to find ESS.
got it that time.
Yeah. Taking damage there, I guess, is actually a good thing to set up your health for a death warp.
He does have the fairy in his real bottle, I believe.
Really?
So
I'm not. Thought he had it in the fake bottle. Maybe I'm wrong.
maybe he does. I'm not sure.
We'll see in a second. He has to equip Zora Mask right here.
All right, so Thipa got his hover, farming some bombs for safety here, because it's pretty intensive.
Yeah, without a hook shot here, you can't weird shot, so you have to do these kind of scary recoils in these updrafts.
Right, so Boo going for a little bit of a safe strat here. you can't do a super swim out of this, but it's basically guaranteed to work. And
Yeah.
this particular clip is very controller dependent with most strats. So thiefbug failed his updraft from recoil, so he's gonna go for it again. Let's see if he gets a little better this time.
It's interesting that he's going for such late recoils there. I find it hard to get good boosts from the updrafts when I have a late recoil. Okay, so he does make it through there on the second try. Ooh, Boo's struggling with the hover here, but it should be fine.
He didn't lose his ISG. That hover in particular is a little bit more difficult than usual because you always end up killing the bows. And when you kill an enemy in this game, there are lag frames, so he can't input what he wants to input.
Yeah, if you just happen to try to time something during like a backflip, for instance, during those lag frames, it can be bad. So Boo's going for the safer strat here of just flying as Deku. I believe it's 15 or 20 seconds slower than what thiefbug was doing, but thiefbug lost time by failing it, so this, I guess, will catch Boo up a little bit.
Yeah, true glitchless runner.
So
he could go for Death Warp here if he knows how to set up his hearts by burning. It's a little bit spooky.
It's very scary, but yeah, he could go for that. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that from him. Thiefbug though, just soaring out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is going for it. It looks like.
Wow.
And he had it, and then he kind of ruined it. So now he can't really Death Warp.
I mean, he might do it anyways. He might just take a whole bomb timer. I think that's what I would do if I were him.
Yeah, he also could just use a fire arrow here to shoot the like first bomb he wants to use.
True, that would be very smart.
Because this is a fast Death Warp, so it saves a little bit of extra time if he can get it. Okay, he used a cheat here. Maybe he doesn't need that.
Okay, so if he mashes fast enough here, he should get a fast Death Warp off of this bomb.
And he did, so
cool.
There it is.
So making up a little bit more time there. Meanwhile, thiefbug is going to be setting up for this long jump. He's already flipped Stone Tower. And he's doing
the safe strat here.
The classic, yeah, the classic setup. Very, very safe, pretty slow, but he gets it.
All right. So now he's just got the Bosky skip left, really. Let's see what he does. There are a lot of different strats you can do here, especially in our race. Looks like he's going for one of the newer ones that was found kind of recently.
He's taking it pretty slow and safe, as expected. He has a good position and angle here. It's easy if you're trying to go really to get a bad position or angle to start that thing off. Was that the right frame? It looks like he has.
He could have actually done the faster variant of this Bosky skip there, but he may not know it.
Boo with the
pro strat.
Yeah, impressive.
Looks like thiefbug is getting in though.
Yeah, he should be getting in here with this. Yep. All right, so
now it's just Twin Wolf for him, and he does have a fairy too. So
a fairy.
We're worried about him dying.
A fairy and a fake bottle, so he could use that on Majora as well. I would say the rest of the run is pretty safe. You know, no big time losses probably for thiefbug. So I think if Boo fails this, which might have just happened.
Yeah.
Okay, well he can try it again pretty quick. If he like runs out of explosives, and then at that point I would say he's gonna really struggle to come back.
Yeah, it would be complete. It already basically is completely on thiefbug to mess up at this point, because he's gained like another sizable lead. But It could happen. We still have a Majora, which is a pretty volatile part of the run.
Oh, he didn't do a chew hover. Oh, that's interesting. I guess he's just doing another mega.
Yeah, 3 Mega is a pretty safe way to do this. So he's in there. Let's see how his twin mold is.
Yeah, I mean, running out of arrows, I guess, is something that can still happen that I wasn't thinking about. Thiefbug seems to be taking his shots pretty carefully, so that probably won't happen.
Couple misses in there though.
Yeah, light arrow misses can be problematic. Nice start to the fight for Boo.
Hit by the
unfortunate.
mold. He actually could have killed Blue there if that hadn't happened.
Yeah,
It's just
and
kind
now
of
it's going to be
unlucky.
pretty difficult, but he can get it right here.
Yeah, good shot.
That was a pretty good recovery from a bad pattern. Meanwhile, Thiefbug struggling to close out the fight. Couple more hits? Oh, just one more hit. Okay.
Alright, so depending on how fast Boo does this fight, this definitely could still be a race.
Yep. I like that 27-minute time save that he had. Or, I guess 22-minute time save on that last split.
Good shots. Oh, cursed.
Hmm.
Alright, so I wasn't paying attention to Thiefbug's chew count, but it's gonna kind of change like what he can do in this cycle. He has 8 chews,
do
so
whatever he
can do
wants.
whatever he wants.
And so can Boo, if you can manage to beat Twin Mold. Really struggling.
Okay, so this is really scary.
Oh!
All right, so that is very not good.
Yeah, let's think about this. I mean,
he still has enough chews to do everything.
Yeah.
But does he have enough bombs?
No. He's I'm not really even sure what the best move is here. Maybe go the other way and try to like hover up to where the spike roller thing is. Can you see Boo's stream?
No, it looks like Boo's stream died. It looks like his internet went out.
He said it was storming the stream might die.
Yeah, he just sent me a DM saying his internet went out.
Well then. Well, I guess we can say that if Thiefbug gets Majora relatively quickly, it wouldn't have mattered regardless, but that is unfortunate.
Yeah, that's a little bit anticlimactic, unfortunately. But let's just see how Thiefbug closes this out, and maybe we can get Boo back in here if his internet comes back on quickly.
I'm gonna mute my mic for restream.
I was distracted by the Boo stream fiasco, so I didn't see what Thiefbug did to get into the clock tower. Did he do Sign ISG?
I believe he did Sign ISG, or no, he had. I don't know what he did. I was also distracted because I wanted to see what Boo was going to do. We'll be able to know when we see his chew count.
That's true. If you did sign ISG, that would be indicated by, I guess, 3 chews left. A couple more minutes of this long cutscene before going to the moon. Does it seem like there's going to be any chance of Boo coming back, or?
He hasn't responded to me, so I assume he's still playing.
Okay, well that would be good, I guess. Let's just try to imagine what Boo is doing right now.
Well, hopefully he's gotten his BK escape and is already working on or finishing up Twin Mold at this point. But he basically would have had to have gotten bombs somewhere. The only place he can get bombs in Stone Tower, or an inverted Stone Tower, is in a box next to the Gomez mini-boss room, which you can do by throwing your Zora fins out of bounds through a wall to grab them. I'm pretty sure, as like a pretty avid bingomizer, bingo, like random race runner, that's something that Boo would probably know about. So that's probably where he ended up going.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking that he could have gone the other way and to save bombs by like shooting that light block and then, you know, flying as Deku and just doing that one recoil, fighting the mini boss, and then getting into that last room. But I don't know if he would have had enough.
You can hover most of the way up there by using the spikes, which he probably knows how to do, but it's pretty sketchy.
Yeah, that maybe would have been the optimal thing to do, but very, very sketchy.
But let's tune into this Majora fight real quick.
Yeah. So Majora can normally be pretty scary, but with a fairy, it's actually not scary at all. You can equip swap a fairy as many times as you want. So you basically have infinite fairies. Could still take quite a while though. Particularly if you mess up your stun lock on Wrath. That's something that can add a lot of time because the Beyblades come out. Basically anything can happen at that point.
Yeah, basically every phase of this fight has like one silly thing that can happen. For first phase, once this second half starts, he has the option of using an attack where he shoots a flaming laser at you. If he does that, it takes a long time, and you also can burn a Zora and have to restart the fight. But if you keep him stun locked like this, then there's basically no chance of it happening.
Yeah, so that was a good first phase.
So now what he wants to do is hopefully have the Incarnation run into him, like right at the start of the fight, and it will cause him to trip over the Zora's barrier, like he'll get stunned right away, and then he can do his best to stun lock him there. He wants to use quick spins and time his quick spins so that right as he's getting up, he's performing a quick spin, so that Incarnation will just instantly get stunned again, like that.
Just like that. Perfect.
And this is really good too, because Incarnation can run in a lot of different directions right away, and if he runs in a bad direction, he can get stunned kind of like that, running away from you. But luckily, most of his stuns have been immediately into the wall, so that was a pretty good
You
Incarnation.
really want Incarnation to be facing the wall there so that you can also face the wall and just stay targeted, because when you're looking at the remains, they can shoot at you. If you're not, I guess there's some weird rules about it, but if you're targeted facing away from the remains, even if you're quick spinning, you're safe. Actually making good use of the chew here to make Majora jump toward the wall, toward the outer edges of the arena, which is good. So just 20 stabs, and the fight is over.
Kind of a rough start. Get hit by a remain here. Alright, so now that he has a remain on screen, that can happen.
That can happen. So yeah, once he's gotten 10 of these 20 stabs in, if he loses stun lock after that point, Beyblades can start coming out, and that is just very scary.
We've got Gior recovering here. Yeah, he was just waiting.
There we go.
Alright, so he has to get a stun on him really quick. So there's the Beyblade. They do a whole heart of damage. Thiefbug is not even going to risk it. He's just going to use the fairy instantly. Because Majora can do an attack on you where he grabs you and just throws you, and it instantly does a heart of damage. So if he gets knocked down by the Beyblade and then grabbed by a Wrath instantly, he would just die, and there's nothing he can do about it.
Seems like he'll still be able to finish it out here.
Alright,
Cool.
There we go.
So I think I can say with confidence that Boo would not have been able to catch up after failing that boss key skip.
Yeah.
So even without the internet issue, that was Thiefbug's win.
Kind of unfortunate, but I haven't heard anything from Boo yet, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to come back.
It was really unfortunate, but it was a really good race.
Yeah, GG to Thiefbug on the win. Also, I'd like to shout out to the fact that Thiefbug just got a 141, which is still like well under 2 hours with the amount of mistakes that he made in the run too. I think that really shows off like all the new time saves that have been found over the years, because I mean a couple of years ago this would not have been anywhere close to a 141.
Oh yeah, but I mean Thiefbug, he played pretty clean throughout.
Yeah, after didn't really make any big mistakes in the run. Like nothing super significant, nothing nowhere near as significant as what happened in Woodfall.
Right. It was basically just the Woodfall boss key skip. Everything else was pretty clean. So yeah, really good race.
Yeah, really close for most of it. Not sure where Boo is right now, if he's still playing or what.
So I'm trying to look at the bracket and see who's going to be racing whom now. It looks like Thiefbug's moving on to race Kuroshi in round 3. And Boo will be dropping down to race Flex Luthor. I believe Flex Luthor was a dropout though. So I think Boo will then advance to round 2 in the losers bracket and race Brendelberg next.
Yeah, and we've got some good races coming up too. We've got Semblance, Yang, and the Deacon later this week. Hopefully, we can get a restream of that, because those two runners are extremely close to each other PB wise, like within a minute of each other. So that is sure to be a really solid race.
That probably will be a good one. There's also Jess and Trev coming up, I believe. Is that tomorrow or Friday?
I believe that is Friday. That is another wild card race, because we have Trev, who is not versed in modern any percent, and Jess, who's also not been running any percent, although they've both been working on different categories of the game.
Yeah, it's two
So
good runners who are not familiar with any percent, so that could be a good one for sure.
we've also got our very own the sausage racing tomorrow with Wasi Blasi,
Oh yeah, I am racing
who
tomorrow.
Yo.
yeah.
Hey, thiefbug, congrats.
Welcome. Congrats on your race.
Oh. Yeah, after that woodfall, I oh my god.
That run we were just saying, like it was pretty dang clean for the most part. Like there was, I think, like a TCS fail, but like other than that, and then the woodfall thing, like it was most of the gameplay I thought was really clean.
I should have just gone for a BK like right away.
Yeah, that's what we were initially talking about in here, is that we thought that that would probably be the easiest and safest backup, but it was definitely really interesting, and it probably would have been better too if you had been able to like nail the BK skip with the bombs that you had.
Yep.
Those
Kind
long
of,
bomb hovers can be scary.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was knocked off. Like, I know if you're too high, then I don't have enough distance, or like I can clip into the room. And I wanted to have a lot of distance, so I tried to stretch him out as far as possible and got knocked over.
Yeah, and
Uh,
that's always really really sad when you fill a bomb hover like that.
it
But we
started off so good.
I mean, it was a really close race. I mean, I'm assuming you were keeping up with how Boo was doing because it was. I mean, it was anyone's race up until you got the Stone Tower Bosky skip and Boo failed it.
Yeah, that was so sad.
That basically sealed the deal for you. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw like I was close to the end of Twin Mold and he was entering Twin Mold and I was like, oh god, if I get a Bat Majora, he's gonna win. And I did get a Bat Majora because I can't time my crouch stabs apparently.
yeah, and you got trolled by the remains a little bit too, it looked like.
Yeah, but it was my fault though because I had Majora's Wrath in a really good position at first and I messed him up.
Mm.
I had a good incarnation though. I was happy about the incarnation.
Yeah,
Fight.
we were talking about how you kept him stun locked into the wall like almost the entire time. You just had like one instance where he managed to slip to the right, so it was a really
Yeah.
fast incarnation,
Yeah, that
really
was
good
really
for a
good.
race.
How do you feel going into your race against Kuroshi next?
I need to practice Woodfall.
That
I usually
seems like a
think,
reason.
yeah, I usually think I'm a fairly consistent player. Like, I think, I mean, sure, I can't keep up with top times. That's one of the reasons. Like, I think English is a little less consistent. I don't really want to switch to English because of Lullaby Skip. So I think if I play decent and don't have any hiccups, I mean, Kuroshi is definitely the better player. But I still gotta. If I play decent and not like I did today, I think I could stand a chance.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good race to watch. I mean, you're doing basically the best Japanese strats. Like, yeah, you're not doing lullaby skip on English, but you're doing basically the fastest stuff on Japanese. Um, so I think that could be a good race.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be real. Croce is the kind of player who's going to go into the race and he's going to play it like a PB attempt. So I mean, if something goes wrong, it's your win.
That's probably true. Yeah, he's not going to be buffering his mega flips probably.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll have to see about it because I'm sorry for
Okay.
interrupting. We'll have to see about it because during like next week I'm at ESA, so
It might be delayed a little bit, I guess.
A little bit of a delayed race, but we'll figure out
Yeah,
the
that's fine.
scheduling for that.
yeah, that would be amazing because I don't really want to do the race on like one of those on those LCD screens.
Yeah, we will make you do the race from ESA. It'll that
I mean,
would
I have
be
a
a little
streaming
bit rude,
slot,
I think.
but oh boy, please no. uh,
All right. Do you have any other final comments or anything? You want to plug your stream for the big viewers?
I don't know. If you want to watch me fail faster quest runs, you can head over to twitch.tv/thiefbug.
Nice.
But I'm not going to be streaming soon because I'll be at ESA. So
Yeah, so watch thiefbug at ESA. I'm sure he'll be on camera at some point.
probably during the Sunshine Relay race.
Perfect.
But yeah, thank you for the restream. That was super, like, I don't know, that was super spontaneous, I think.
Yeah, it was. We were actually planning this, but I forgot to do the part where I let all the runners know that I was planning on doing it. So that's a little
Yeah,
bit on me.
we anticipated this being a good race. So it was a good choice, I think.
Oh boy.
Thank
Train
you
wreck.
so much for participating, and thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to keep an eye out for the coming up races. We have a lot of really good ones coming up. Like I said, keep an eye out for the sausages race tomorrow. Wassy Blossy's been talking some trash. He is pretty certain he's gonna win. Keep an eye out for Deacon and Semblance Yang. That's gonna be a really good race. And yeah, just keep an eye out. Thanks everybody for watching.
Thank you for having me.
Rip Taboo.
Oh boy.
I'm sure he's still doing his race,
Probably.
but he said his internet isn't coming back, so unlucky.
More bombs for Woodfall next time.
Mhm.
Alrighty, I'm gonna head out as well then.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you possibly next time. I don't know.
yeah, we'll plan your race out and make it happen.
Alrighty, thank you.
Yeah.
Alright,
Yeah.
have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, I guess we should get off now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
Bye forever.
bye guys. I don't really know what's. I don't know what other restreams there are. I haven't prepared for I didn't prepare for plugging anything. We've got a bunch of stuff tomorrow at various times. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.